folks. So I'm going to be tying a wee caddis pattern here tonight. It's a balloon caddis. The hook and the vise is a B170 in size 14, and I'm going to run this thread down to where the barb is. The thread there is just 12O classic waxed, and it's in tan. I'm going to start the dubbing at the back here. This is sparkle dub in golden olive, brown olive, and it's from Caddisfly. I'm not sure if you can still get this stuff, but it's a lovely colour. So we're going to run this up the body quickly. We're only going about 2/3 of the way because we've got a wing and our foam to go in yet. Caddis are chunky wee boys, so I'm going to come back down over the body, and this helps to keep the dubbing on nice and tight, and also builds up the body shape you want. So once it's there, we're going to sweep everything back, and we're going to get a patch of deer hair here. You don't need a lot, but so I'm going to take like that much off the skin. When you're cutting deer hair, you want to cut it as close to the skin as you can, and just when you go to get the next piece, you don't have half a piece of deer hair sitting in the road. So if you just twist it or push in your finger and thumb, and it opens that all out, you can get most of the under fur out, and any wee cut ends or smushed too short hairs. Yeah. I have a wee brush here and just run it through it into the hair stacker. So you want the wing on this fly to be the length of the full fly. So that'll be about there. And then you want that tied in where your dubbing ends, so it hangs over the back. So I'm just going to trim them off and come in. So the first turn is going to be nice and loose. Second one's quite loose, and then I'm going to pull up the way with my thread, and then bring the thread through all the cut ends down towards the eye. You want to keep a good hold of your wing and keep it up on top of the fly the whole time. So it's sitting very high there at the minute. So if you sweep it all back, push it forward, and push down with your thumb, you can kink the fibers and it'll sit a lot lower like the proper bug. We've still got our foam that shall push it down another wee bit. And that's the way I like my wing sitting there. So I'm going to come in now with a foam cylinder. These are 3mm yellow foam cylinders from Kindle. So I want to roll it between my fingers to get a bit of a taper. We're going to tie that in there. Once you get one turn over, you can hold it in this hand now and bring it up to right up to the eye, and then tie in over the top of that all. And then we're going to come in with our dubbing again, and it's the same dubbing again, and we're going to build up a nice thorax. So again, I'm going to work from the back to the front and then back down again. Just a tiny wee bit more at the back here. You want to pull this over, give it a slight pull, and your thread up over 3 or 4 turns to hold it. And then I like to give it a super glue. Just run that on the thread. And if you give your foam a bit of a pull, you can get that super glue right down into the thread wraps. And then we're going to come in with a whip finish. I like to cut that, hold it up straight, cut it off about 1 millimeter, and you get the finished fly then. Lovely balloon caddis. Now these fish well in the rivers, and that wee piece of foam in there really helps with the floating. And you don't need to be drying these every cast. You know, you could fish with that all night, and just a bit of gink into the wing maybe, and that'll float all night and fish all night. They're a brilliant wee fly. Sometimes I'll give them a bit of a wiggle across the top of the water, and that'll make the fish hit them. And just coming under there actually, a few wee pieces of deer hair would get pushed down. And if you've got yourself a dubbing brush, you can pull out some of these fibres from the dubbing. Just to make it a bit more buggy looking. Thanks for watching, folks, and if there's anything you'd like to see, don't hesitate to message.